Welcome, 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 trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solutions Show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED-D1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED-D2. Well, as you already know, I have the PH.
I have the M.
We both have D's.
That makes us Doc Squared.
The title of the day's show is And What I Said Was.
But before we get to what I said, let's see about the Hip Hop Trio Plus. We have a scheduled appointment tomorrow at 1:30 with Tony Sayers at Caramoo.
Yes.
And if the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree, we shall have performances there starting within the next 30 days. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful slide. Caramoo and us doing the do. Can't ask for very much more and reasonably expect to get it. Mm-mm. Yes, indeed. We had a meeting yesterday. We had a meeting with Africa House, Kumaki, and a bunch of advisors to make up her board. We are on the board of Africa House now.
Advisory board, correct.
Advisory board, absolutely. We had a meeting with Aku, Oren France, several others. One of the things that kind of caught me when we had the meeting was we talked about health and understanding as major areas that they're going to be working in. And it just so happens that I've been working in those areas for most of my last, couple of decades at least. Mm-hmm. That's what today's show, to some extent, is going to focus on. Mm-hmm. Today's show represents my understanding of the concept of health. This Tuesday, however, my wife...
All right. We're going to hearken back to Kwanzaa, the Ngusaba, which are the 7 principles that Dr. Malana in Kawanga created. And what Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED-D1, formatted in a way that is more equitable.
And effective.
So we started on the first Tuesday, which was yesterday, with umoja, which is unity in Swahili. In Twi, it is Nkabong.
I love it.
Yes. So we will be practicing unity, umoja, in Kabo, in Twi, for the rest of this month. And then we'll move on to the next one. We won't discuss it until that time is here.
And we actually started practicing this unity yesterday when we met with Africa House as the council. We had people there from Guyana, mm-hmm. Nigeria, mm-hmm. Ghana, America, mm-hmm. and most of Southeast Asia. Mm-hmm. That's me. So we are doing that, and we want you to do it with us.
Yes.
As a part of our unity movement.
Yes.
Here, here. So let's get on with the show. Health. Health is generally considered a part of your body. And as the January 2006 edition of the American Journal of Public Health states in an article published as a commentary by Dr. Lester Breslau, MD, MPH of the UCLA School of Medicine. Dr. Breslau states that our culture has many ways to measure and define disease, but has no way to objectively measure or even define what health is. When I first read this, the reality of it kind of smacked me against the face, because I read this that January when it was released in 2006. I've been working in health for about 40 years by then. And I had learned, like every other health practitioner, to make definitions of illnesses. GI versus ophthalmology versus heart disease versus lung disease versus tumors. Yeah, we categorize diseases every kind of way you can. Diseases in children is called pediatrics. Same disease in an older person. Now we're talking with senility. And we got lots of different labels that we place on diseases to define what they are, to delineate their extensions. We have absolutely nothing like that when it comes to health. The article goes on to define the changes in the definition of what health should be from 1948's notion of positive physical, mental, and social well-being to 1986 World Health Organization Ottawa Charter. Oh, I was shocked at this. They described health as a resource for everyday life. That's their definition of health. Excuse me. A resource for everyday life? My drawers are a resource for everyday life. My socks are a resource for everyday life. Me being able to stand up and walk is a resource for everyday life. Anything you do on a daily basis is a resource for everyday life. How in the hell does that define, delineate, what health is? My comment to that article goes on to describe the trivalent nature of humanity and health as the optimal operation and coordination of your spirit, mind, and body.
Imagine that.
I was at that time, there we go. At that time, I was the health editor for the African American Lifestyle magazine, and I wrote this article, New Image for a New Health, that talked about Dr. Breslau and our inability to accurately define what health is. I stated that optimum health would be optimum functioning of your spirit, mind, and body complex. Most, however, were stuck on the optimal operation of only their body. Most people have been trained that health has to do with what your body is like. Only slightly what your mind is like. Mental health has just got to be a disease less than a century ago. And it is not something that people usually visualize when you say the word health, healthy, or in poor health. Now, they're thinking about your body. So today, we're going to focus on the optimal operation of your body with a tool called vector augmentation.
Imagine that.
Which every listener should recall is the topic I make reference to every time I state we can change how you function from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet in 133 seconds. Oh yeah, we going right there. Welcome to the world of vector augmentation. Increased energy, improved circulation, eliminates fatigue. It slows down the aging process. That's why I look and function like this at 75, and I will be 75 in about 3 weeks. And greatly enhanced sense of well-being without drugs, exercise, or diets. Ain't got to do none of that. Okay. First, I must reiterate that everything I'm going to tell you, you already know, but do not understand. Knowing is emotional, spiritual, happens in your limbic system. Limbic system is dead in the center of your brain. It's composed of the caudate nucleus, nucleus accumbens, and a couple of other neurological centers. But knowing is emotional, spiritual. You feel an emotion about what you know. That's often confused with understanding. That happens in the prefrontal gyrus, right here on the side of your head, not in the center. It's right on the surface of your brain, and it has to do with thinking, not feeling, not emotions. Understanding, thinking, knowing, feeling. Okay. Everything I'm going to tell you already know. Okay. I've explained the difference between the two. Now, we are here in this reality that we call life on earth so that we can learn a variety of paradigms. Now, to learn something, you first must understand it. That means you got to be able to think about it. Then you have to practice that understanding until it becomes part of you. Once it becomes part of you, you have learned it. And we all remember going to our mom and say, listen to me, Mom, I've learned my ABC. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, elemental P. Learning means that it has gone from your mind to your spirit. So that when you die and your spirit leaves here and goes to the place that the Akan call Awuo, it will take all you have learned with it. And all you have learned is not only useful, but absolutely necessary in Awuo. That's why we come here. Our whole purpose of living in this time-controlled reality is to learn the mechanisms of our being so our spirits can deliver those understandings to Awuo, where there is no time. There is no past. There is no future. It is always now.
Imagine that.
That, oh yes, time-augmented reality is the thing that we are sent into this reality to experience. Other realities do not have time. This one does, and it has it for a reason. We are born into this dimension to go through realities that teach us right versus wrong, good versus bad, enabling versus disabling, and list after list of important life lessons. So no matter what the trial, trouble, or torment, that's life. And believe it or not, Global Entertainment has a song that's titled exactly that. That's live. Miles Alexander Keaton Smith, Mick Beats, OG Shankster, and Craig got a message to go. It just depends on the folks who's that brother that sings that line?
Papa Dizzy, man, stop.
That's
Dale.
right.
Papa
Dale. Papa Dale. I'm gonna do Papa Dale's line because I've been practicing all my life. But yeah,
Did you include you? Did you just not include you?
Yeah. No, I
Okay,
didn't.
I didn't hear you.
No, I didn't. Yes, and I should include me. I sang the chorus. I arranged the song. I play every instrument except the keyboards. Mick plays that. I play the bass guitar, and that's the main instrument you hear throughout the whole song is me playing bass. But all of that being the case, not once is my name mentioned at all in this song, though everybody else's is. So I want y'all to listen, make pictures out of what you hear. That's listening to That's Life.
Hey, yo, I'ma lay this on life for you. Listen, I don't mean to be precise. Life is a trick with mood swings. I can't please her about living in this ghetto life up in the streets. And she wonder why I act this way. But look at the influences I deal with every day. Hungry ass niggas stay with them stick-up kids. Broke masterminds planning how to get in your grave. You know, confident you make it go back in their head. Make them do stupid shit for a slice of the bread. Listen closely, pay attention to these words that I'm spitting. It's not knowledge, it's a street intelligence that I'm giving. Shake pop a deal with Humble G on platinum mixes will make beats a legacy. And you can say it was written. So I planned out the hustle, I can't lead and struggle. I want that life of this life. So my struggle is double my main life. Kills my dream, cause she envies the others and fill the streets with these snake-eating brothers with no respect for their mother. So they killing each other. But I guess they don't wanna see success. I throw this life in the gutter.
That's life, I ain't keep. Gotta play it anywhere she goes. Inhale, exhale, blow the smoke about your nose. We was all born to die, killer, we all got to go, and that's life. That's life, I ain't keep. Gotta play it anywhere she go. I'm telling cause my daddy told me to buy the groceries, and if a man don't work, then a man don't eat, and that's life.
Pop Dale got a message to go, it just depends on the folks who accepting the flows. You got haters out here, they reception his woes, they mad at the world, so they be stepping on toes. That's pretty practical, these causes are natural for folks to act that way. It turns them dramatical, it just ain't no way that I could be mad at you for you moving up in the world. I'll be happy too, no hate my blood, I separate the weak, cause y'all ain't nothing but Satan, I devastate the beast. Maximum strength without taking Tylenol, trying to spread this to folks that can't get right at all. Serious business, I got curious wishes of touching your mind and securing these fixes, cause these wrongdoings, they done went too far. Mistakes is made from niggas trying to represent who we are.
That's life, I ain't keep. Gotta play it anywhere she goes. You got to be about it for Jesus. Streets out here's going wild. Baby's killing mama. I ain't keep. Mama's killing dogs. Anywhere she goes. Crack cocaine is spilled over into the gutter. We all gon' die. We all gon' die. Papa Daya! Humble G! OG Shankster! I wonder if the Lord can forgive me. Save my soul from past crimes in this industry. Send down your blessings from heaven and let it rain, Lord. I'm soaking wet and I'm stressing through all this pain, Lord. Scattered killings and drug dealers, will it ever cease? I walk the streets and sing the beast already been released. Body bags in every city piling up the graves. Politicians for propositions while they getting paid. Listen closely and pay attention to the signs, y'all. Evil minds will make the strongest nigga blind, y'all. Slip and fall and miss his calls if you're not prepared. Alcohol will make you crawl, playing truth or dare. 45s and expeditions doing drive-bys, taking lives in close collisions when we ride by. Painting pictures of bloody rivers headed down the block. All figures and naked niggas in the body box. Who holds the key to this life? That's life. I ain't keep. Gotta play it anywhere she goes. Inhale, exhale, blow the smoke about your nose. We was all born to die, killer, we all got to go, and that's life. That's life. I ain't keep. You gotta play it anywhere you go. I'm telling cause my daddy told me to buy the groceries, and if a man don't work, then a man don't eat, and that's life. That's life. I ain't keep. You gotta play it anywhere you go. Inhale, exhale, blow the smoke about your nose. We was all born to die, killer, we all got to go, and that's life. That's life. I ain't keep. You gotta play it anywhere you go. I'm telling cause my daddy told me to buy the groceries, and if a man don't work, then a man don't eat, and that's life. That's life. I ain't keep. You gotta play it anywhere you go. I'm telling ya now. That's life. I ain't keep. You gotta that's life. I ain't keep. You gotta play it anywhere you go. I'm telling ya. That's life. I ain't keep. You gotta play it anywhere you go. I'm telling ya.
All right.
Okay, y'all. That is life. And just like they say, we come here to experience this thing and then leave. So we can take that experience with us.
And love back to you. You leave.
You Lace! Hey, my love. You Lace Dickinson. You girl. You go, girl. She's just doing it.
We enjoy you so.
Okay.
All right.
So let's discuss that life and an opponent to that living. Woo! Yes. Okay, let's discuss that life and an opponent to that living that you battle every day of your existence. Because humanity does the one thing that no other creature on earth does.
Imagine that.
And that's this.
Oh, you gotta. He's gonna get him walk around. Yes.
Okay. Now, did everybody happen to notice my bipedal locomotion? Bipedal locomotion is commonly called walking. And human beings are the only existing things that use bipedal locomotion primarily. Our closest kin, the great apes, spend most of their time on all fours. And they don't have the problems that we have as a result of our bipedal locomotion. Because bipedal locomotion gives us an opponent that you fight every day of your life. And that opponent, that disabling force, is gravity. Gravity has many effects on your being, and one of the most profound effects are its effects on your circulation. Y'all see, every time you get out of bed every morning, your heart starts pumping blood down to 93.7% of your body. Your head and neck are the only major areas of your being your heart doesn't pump blood down to. That blood pumped down by your heart through your arteries has to go through smaller and smaller arteries until your blood arrives at the smallest blood vessels in your body called capillaries. Okay, now look at that illustration. The right side of your heart is the waste blood. This is the blood that's coming back from your veins, and this is what we're primarily going to be dealing with today. Because when the blood comes back from your vein, it goes first through the right atrium, that's the upper chamber. It gets then pumped down to the right ventricle, that's the lower chamber, and your right ventricle pumps blood out of the heart to the lungs. This is where your carbon dioxide gets exhaled at. Every time you exhale, it's because your right side of your heart has pumped blood from your veins that contain all the waste from your cells to your lungs so that you can blow that carbon dioxide out. Okay. That blood pumped down by your heart through your arteries gets delivered to these capillaries. These one cell thick vessels deliver oxygen and nutrients to 99.9999999% of the cells of your body. The only cells of your body that capillaries do not provide oxygen and nutrients to are your hairs and your nails. Every other cell in your body, Okay. Now, these vessels, called capillaries, deliver oxygen and nutrients as it picks up waste, carbon dioxide, and other byproducts of cellular activity that flows from the cell into these vessels to be emptied into your veins for delivery to your body systems for elimination of waste, as I explained. First, the right side of the heart, then to the lungs. You also, believe it or not, eliminate waste from your skin and from your kidneys, as well as your gut. But that's where we have our first major challenge, because there is not a pump at the bottom of your body to pump this collection of waste from your veins back up to the right side of your heart for excretion.
Let's go to number 9.
No, there is no pump at the bottom of your body, and blood has to get its way up through veins that have these valves. Now look at the healthy vein valve. When the blood pushes up, blood goes through, and when it tries to come back, it closes the valve and stops. So this blood kind of ratchets its way back up to your heart. Now, what happens over time, however, is that gravity makes more and more blood cells crowd into your veins, so that now the vein leaflets no longer meet. Notice how the veins, when they try to go down, it's too far apart. They don't meet. So it stops pumping blood or ratcheting blood back up to the right side of your heart. This is what normally happens every day as you go through your normal day in bipedal locomotion. By the time you get near the end of your day, diseased vein valve, that's the way your veins are functioning. It is functioning that way primarily because of the effects of gravity. Blood pools in the veins of the body, causing a slower flow through the capillaries. Very, very, very slow flow through the capillaries. There is no more room in the veins for the capillaries to dump its blood into. So, believe it or not, your capillary blood flow slows down, and the function of all the cells provided by those capillaries slows down. You get a bunch of hormonal and neurochemical responses that signals all of the cells of your body to slow down. This is what happens when the veins get crowded due to the effects of gravity on your circulation.
That's
And again, this is a
number
daily
10.
occurrence. This is because your cells don't have the ability to eliminate the waste it would produce if it operates at its normal rate of functioning. It can't operate at its normal rate of functioning because of the slowed down signal that it has just gotten from the veins being chocked full of blood due to the effects of gravity. You know this sensation of slowed down as being tired. Tired ain't got nothing to do with exertion. Tired is the result of the effects of gravity on your circulation. I have not been tired in almost 20 some odd years, and I'm serious as a heart attack. Anytime I start getting tired, I just vector myself and it goes away. And I don't do that. Now, time to see if you have actually been listening to all this physiology and functional information. Since the veins are the most superficial part of your circulatory system, you can see them right here, you can see them right there, you can see them all over your body. I can empty that vein just by doing that. But when I pick my hand back up, it fills back up again. Where does it fill back up again from? The capillaries. Empty the veins, capillaries fill them up. Empty them again, capillaries fill them up. Empty them again, capillaries fill them up. This is the functional aspect of your circulatory system. Now, what I'm asking is, what would be the effect of manually augmenting the flow of blood back to the heart? Now, what I'm actually asking is if you empty major veins with your hands, you push the veins empty and you push the veins toward the heart, up. You've pushed the blood back up where it's trying to go, and the capillaries filling up, and you push them up again, and the capillaries filling up, and you push it up again, and the capillaries fill them up. What would be the effect of a technique that allowed that to occur? I want everybody to think about that just for a minute or two. That's enough. Okay. Well, if you were visualizing correctly, you should notice that increased capillary blood flow leads to increased cellular functioning, with a subjective feeling of increased energy, increased vitality, and cessation of that slow down chemical flow. This slow down signal that really is what is telling you that gravity's effect on your circulation is being felt, goes away if you vector the veins that those capillaries lead to. Look at the diagram now. We're showing you the artery coming from the heart, leading to smaller blood vessels called arterioles, which lead to smaller blood vessels called end arterioles that lead to the capillaries. The capillaries feed the cells of your body. The capillaries are a hair thick, one cell layer. And because they're a hair thickness, all the stuff in it, all the stuff in the capillaries, all the blood cells, all the chemicals, everything in it can freely diffuse through the walls of the capillaries into the cells that the capillaries provide. They provide oxygen, they provide nutrients, they provide vital chemicals in this way, at the same time picking up any waste that your cell is going to produce by its normal functioning. That's how you function, and that's what gravity jacks up. Any questions? No questions? We ain't got no questions yet? Okay. Any person not want to experience the effects of vector augmentation? Anybody? Okay, yeah. Once you feel the difference, only habit and obstinance prevent a person from enjoying the effects of vector augmentation. And they, by doing that, move partially into the portion of humanity that we call meta. M-E-T-T-A-H. And as almost everyone with the experience will tell you, meta is better. Just straight up. Okay, now I must admit, I did not invent the concept.
Hey, Ty.
Ty!
She says, I've had it firsthand. Doc vectored you, Jazzy? Ty.
You need to vector 3 times a day, Ty. Anybody who has peripheral vascular disease, diabetes, or anything like that needs to vector at noon, at about 4 or 5 in the evening, and maybe, and this depends on how effective your first 2 are, maybe again before you go to bed.
And also signs of swelling of the ankles and the legs.
All that goes away with
Yes.
vector augmentation. You got to use it 2 to 3 times a day.
Yes.
Now, the person who created all this stuff did not have that concept in mind at all. And he only stated that it needs to be practiced occasionally or daily in the evening. after you've been up walking around and doing all the stuff and you got the effects of gravity on your circulation, he just said do it in the evening. No, 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 no. My whole purpose in being alive is to stop people from getting sick and dying. I don't want you to get to that point where your extremities are swollen and the capillary blood flow is slowed down. And by doing it again at noon, and this is called maintenance vector augmentation, there are 4 different uses of the principles of vector augmentation. This is what I'm explaining to you today is maintenance vector augmentation, because its purpose is to maintain the circulatory supply that you have in the morning when you get out of bed. Okay. Now, I must admit I didn't invent the concept of vector augmentation. It was originally referred to as peripheral circulation by John Harvey
Imagine that.
Kellogg.
Yes.
Now, John Harvey Kellogg. That name seem familiar? It's showing you Kellogg's toasted cornflakes down there. Well, his brother William Keith Kellogg invented cornflakes, whose profits Kellogg poured into improving health care and education for children. Now, believe it or not, this was a very new and somewhat controversial use of money for children. John Harvey Kellogg, the brother of William, and they call him Will Keith Kellogg, who invented cornflakes, he was what we call an advocate of the progressive movement. And the progressive new movement was about learning, education, understanding, healthcare. These were all very, very new things to Europeans. Read your European history. They were never into taking care of children, health care, or anything that had anything whatsoever to do with understanding more. They were definitely not about reason or understanding. Again, the Roman Catholic Church told them, no reason, revelation. We will tell you what is revealed and you will practice that. Do not use reason for anything. And children throughout almost all of Europe were possessions to be used by their parents and family as whatever they wanted them to be. Even selling them was not It was not It was People went around selling children all the time. And they didn't care very much who they sold them to.
Child for sale. Child for sale.
Oh, yeah. Go back and read some more of that middle-aged European, I don't want to say history, because though it is his story, who's the guy who wrote Christmas Tale? The English author who wrote Christmas Tale. I'm thinking
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Charlie Dickens wrote about children being sold all the time because that was normal in Europe, throughout Europe. The Kellogg's investing time, energy, and money in educating and the health of children, that was not just progressive, that was radical. Because Europeans were never about that. There was some of the European history referred to by John Steinbeck in his novel, The Grapes of Wrath. Steinbeck talked about a disabling energy released by people whose purpose for being had somehow been blocked or eliminated. And I guarantee you that most of the Europeans in the Middle Ages felt that their purpose was being blocked by the Lord of the Manor. Again, if you were not a titled noble, you were generally a peasant and a slave to the land. You belonged to whatever land you were born on, and the master of that land could do whatever the hell he wanted to with the land or you or your children. Again, first night. This was a thing that was used as a means for the Irish-English War. First night meant that a master could go and have sex with any female who was married on his property. He was entitled to the first night of sex with any female. Any female means anyone who lived on his properties. He had the right to have sex with them first before their husbands. Because that's just basically how Europeans felt about life and living. This led to a whole bunch of people having their purposes destroyed or blocked, and a whole bunch of people having very negative, depressing, fear-inducing statements to make and tales to give. Yeah, that's right. She said, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good,
That's
Ty.
good, Ty. Okay. The Hip Hop Trio Plus has a song that describes how children are saddled with the failures, disappointments, and fears of those who are supposed to love them. Written by Mississippi Charles Bevels as Not of Seasons. Since human beings are the only beings on the planet Earth who have no mating season, we mate 24/7, 365. Meantime, between time, doesn't matter. So he called the song Not of Seasons. But Mississippi, who I call Sippy, Sippy gave us permission to use this song however we wish. So no chasers, we are straight downing the grapes of wrath.
Ashe.
Head down.
Babies coming to this world, not a season. Even if we don't, they know the reasons. And the one who sends them, gives them gifts to care. Tells them, children, take your time, but do not tarry. You will all arrive but naked, equally endowed to make it. You should have everything you need when you get there. But you should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. You should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. God sent babies, they don't know how we are divided. If they did to send them, never would have been decided. Red and brown, black and white, is how we rock them. Rich and poor, high or low, is how we start them. Why do we make those distinctions when we don't have an inkling of what each child will bring, how just take their gifts and crush like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. So we all get in line for a young one. Some will grab 10 or 12, some will get none. And the children chose by rich ones will be pampered, while the children left to poor ones will be hampered. Why do we act like such heathens when every known religion teaches us each and every child is in our care? But we just take their gifts and crush them like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath.
Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Those are the challenges.
Okay, Ty. Says send her the music. Nikki, you're going to have to remember to send the music to your sister so she can get a good copy of it.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. Please send me the music. That's what she said. Go ahead, girl. We sending you the music. Now, the grapes of wrath are one of the challenges that we have developed tools for dealing with, but we have developed tools for dealing with many of the challenges that this existence presents. That is my function, that is my purpose, and that's what I've been doing for about 50 years. I'm thanking the Lord every day that He allows me to do the strange things that I do. But it is for the purpose of making it easier for human beings to go through this existence and enter into a world with not just happiness, but with gratitude. Again, whatever challenges, whatever problems, whatever difficulties you face here in this time-oriented reality, you were meant to. You were meant to find those solutions to those challenges and those problems. And you're meant to practice those solutions so that those solutions become part of you.
Ashe.
Once they become part of you, they are part of your spirit. They will go with your spirit when your body stays here and quits functioning and degrades back into the dust from which it came. My job is to give you tools to deal with this reality.
And my job is to assist him.
She does a great job, don't you think? I do.
I love it.
Vector augmentation is simply one of the tools. And if the Lord says the same, next week we are going to be demonstrating vector augmentation on someone who has never had it done on them. We're still dealing with that. If the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree,
Right.
we're going to go through that and demonstrate to you and allow you to see for yourself the results of these tools that we are producing for humanity. Okay, we got 9 minutes. Anybody got any other questions? Any other comments? Anything?
Well, I'm going to say just recap on practicing with us the Ngusaba, that the principles of Kwanzaa that Dr. Malana created, and Doc has rearranged it to make it more effective. And so this month we are doing Unity, which is Umoja. And in Twi, it's Nkabom. Nkabam.
And kabam.
Oh, David's there. Greetings, David.
David!
Hey. Oh, the music touches his soul.
Yeah, he says he wants to download it. David, we will send it to you if the Lord says the same.
Yeah.
David is in Ghana and he is watching our. Oh, David, how's everyone doing? Wait a minute, put that back up, man. I ain't get a chance to
He's
see
refreshing it.
that. Okay.
All right.
David, how's everyone doing? Greetings, family. Music touches my soul. What is the title of this song? The title of this song is Grapes of Wrath. Yeah, it's our arrangement of a song by one of our friends named Mississippi Charles Bevel. We'll send it to you if the Lord says the same.
And Charles Bevels is a playwright writer also, and our daughter performed in one of his Broadway performances here at Caramoo in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
Jamila did.
Mississippi Charles Bevels has had at least 2 plays on Broadway that I'm aware of. He's one of them people. But you know that's what we do. I really need it on my phone, David said. I understand. And Kevin needs it too. Come on now.
Grew up listening to it. So
That's right.
Get used to our music.
Kevin needs it too. That's his family singing. That's his family doing playing all the instruments and stuff.
He's going to be performing with us. We see that.
Definitely is. And until then, until he comes back and performs with us, until next week when we demonstrate to you on someone who's never had vector augmentation what its effects are. If the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree. And until then, we will wish you
peace,
which stands for
proper education always corrects error.
Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do.
Love y'all.
We love you.
Thank y'all for joining us, David, Ulysses, Tai, and all those who we don't see.
Yes. We still love you.
Peace.
To death. And even beyond. Oh, you made it to the end of the video. Well, I am tired a little bit differently. I'm dressed as Baba Amwa. If you would like more of your own understanding, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And go to the sites that we have listed around us. The Most High is good.
And the ancestors are kind.
Thanks
for having us on your minds.
Peace.